Hey guys, welcome back. I just finished watching Fate Stay Night, the new one, the 2014 one that just came out. Right now it's in October, and there's about 4 episodes out on Crunchyroll. And I just want to see if it's any different than the original one, because it's been about, I believe, 2 or 3 years since I last saw Fate Stay Night, the original one. Not the movies, the Limited Blade Works movies, but I mean just the original TV series. And so I was wondering, they did like a reboot of it, and I was like a bit concerned because all these reboots. I mean, there's the Sailor Moon reboot, and a couple years ago there was the Full Metal Alchemist reboot, and Dragon Ball Z, all that other stuff. So I was a bit concerned that this reboot might be not so good, or at least it wouldn't be as interesting enough for someone who's already watched the series to enjoy. And I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, they did a lot of good things in the first prologue episode I watched, and I'm generally very, very interested now. Because coming back from Fate Stay Zero and just seeing the past and having improved on the battle scenes, it's really nice to see like the old, the old story being, upped up, in terms of action, in terms of all that good stuff. The prologue itself was pretty ridiculously long. I did not expect it to be like an hour. It's like 46 minutes, and I was like, holy shit, like whoa, like. I did not expect it to be this long because I thought it was just going to be normal 23 minutes. But anyway, it was a nice long introduction back into the series, and it kind of refreshes your memory. All these guys that we saw before, and now they're back. And I mean, if you have seen the series before, you'll be surprised. We get to see a lot of the different perspectives from Tosaka. The original series, you remember, was following the main character. I forgot his name. I'll remember it soon, as soon as I watch probably the second episode. But, I mean, we usually follow that guy, the male main character. We didn't follow Tosaka, Rin Tosaka. We never saw it from her perspective at all. She's always been the side character, the supporting character in the series. And now we get to see more of the magic system and, the summoning and all the other stuff in the background that we didn't get before. Because before it was like a shonen, you just get a bunch of these supernatural spirits fighting each other. And now we get more of the magic side of the humans. Because if you remember the original series, not Fate Stay Zero, there wasn't much master on master. I mean, just the normal human magicians versus human magician. Like, the magic system wasn't explored at all. We had just superpowered spirits duking it out. And that was it. Now we get more of the, I guess, interactive master background that we the story does have. Because I like to mention, just because I didn't know before watching going into this series, is that the world, the Type Moon world, it's called Type Moon, this universe created for this series, where a lot of the other animes like Tsukahime, all those animes kind of just take their source material from this world, and like the magic system in this world is fucking sorry for my words, but I mean, it's insane. Like just how spells work and how reality is shifted depending on lots of crazy things is just insane. And I feel like a lot of this series, they don't go into that, and I feel disappointed because I go to the wiki and I see all this. I read up on all the other all the other characters they don't really explain, and you learn so much of everything. And now we're getting a little bit of gist from this first episode, and just with her drawing symbols and showing the spells and the types of spells. It's really cool, and I really like it. I'm hoping they do more of that along with the original story. I don't know if this is just going to be from Rin Tosaka's side, I mean just the girl's side, and we're never going to see Saber and the guy, the main character guy, We're not going to see them in this whole series. Maybe they're just going to be a side character, like reverse, kind of like how if you ever seen a Railgun, Scientific Railgun, how that is kind of like a side story with the secondary character being, you know, the protagonist instead of, you know, opposite. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. But as far as I can tell, it's a really nice introduction. I don't remember which path this is taking. I mean, I remember Unlimited Blade Works, but I don't remember if this is... Because if you're not familiar with this series, it follows 3 routes. It used to be a game. I know maybe it used to be some sort of a hentai game. I don't remember. A lot of these series, I mean, come on, man. They come from, like, some shady business, you know, in, like, you know, the plus 18 section of the game store, and then somehow, you know, they get popular enough, they get their own series, and then, you know, they get censored to death, and you don't see any of the crazy nastiness that comes from, you know, the original source. But anyway, just saying, I remember there being 3 routes in the original game, and they kind of just redo, like, it's like the same people, but like different things happen, like different bad guys become good guys in some of them. I mean, it's like a parallel world, and there's 3 routes that the game takes depending on your choices in the game. And so in this case, I don't remember which route this particular Fate Stay Night is taking, but I'm hoping it's the one. Maybe I won't spoil anything for people who haven't even touched the games. If you're just completely new to the series, I'd just say that, you know, if you're wondering why there's so many Fate Stay Nights and why they're not lining up, you know, the movie's not lining up with the original series, it's not lining up with maybe, you know, this series, it's because there's 3 routes in the game. I don't remember, they're like Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, and something else. And yeah, I mean, there's, I don't know which route they're taking, but I hope that they do a kind of like a mix-up, because I remember 2 of the endings. Like, one of them had a really nice progression with the main character, but the ending was like, ugh. Like, it was such a bittersweet ending. And the other one is where the main character gets to be happy, but he doesn't really achieve his full potential. As, you know, his powers develop, he doesn't achieve his full potential. And it feels disappointing. Even though he has a happy ending, it feels disappointing. Whereas the other one, he achieved his full potential, but, you know, the other... tragedy happened. That's all I gotta say, tragedy. And so I'm hoping in this one they do some changes, they mix them up where they combine the routes, and, you know, all the good stuff from each of the routes get, you know transformed into one gigantic goodness, and we get to see that. So I'm looking forward to this series. The action is top notch. We get introduced to all the old characters. It's really nice to get into this. If you're watching this for the first time, I would highly recommend you just watch this first, and then, you know, kind of go back to the other ones, because I'm assuming this one's going to be pretty, I would say, faithful. As far as I can tell, it's very faithful to the adaptation, and it covers all the good things from the old series. So, I mean, like, some people say you have to watch, you know, the first one, you know, the first adaptation first. That way you can appreciate how well this one does. I would say watch this one first. That way you don't have to spend time watching the older version, just because this one seems to be done really well, and there isn't anything you're going to be missing out besides the main character's view. Which, I mean, if you want to go from the guy's view, I mean, that's basically the only difference right now, is they've skipped a little bit of what happened with the guy, and how, you know what happened with him and how he got to this. If you're not sure, the main character from the original series was the dude who got stabbed in the heart. And, you know, from what he saw and how he feels, and, you know, how it felt to be killed, you know. I mean, you want to really know about that, I mean, go ahead and watch the original series. But, I mean, I'm just saying it's not as good as you might think it is. Because, I mean, they did pretty good in this opening prologue. So this is my first impression. This is my first review of Fate Stay Night, the prologue episode. Pretty good stuff. Pretty exciting. I hope it gets a lot better. It looks really good. Production value very high. It feels about above Fate Stay Zero at the moment in terms of action, and I really hope they stay away from the 3D CG, because that's what killed me for the Fate Stay Zero. Is they had really nice action, but when I had to see the 3D stuff, it was just like, it just ruined the immersion for me. So I'm hoping they don't do any of that and they stick with just what we saw in this first episode. So Enchain, like Dragon Ball Z, like it was just like, oh, ooh, it's so good. It's so good to find an action anime that does a really good job. So all right, that's it, and I'm just gonna go next episode. All right, see you guys next time.